All right, here we go, guys. Back to the AFC Cup. We're up against, what do they call it? Casa de Portugal, I think it is, from Macau. Man, there's not too many people here. Casa de Portugal is correct. Not too many people here. Of course, there's no real way to tell based on the animation, like how many people are actually present or not. If we win this match and if we win by a sufficient margin, we should be able to win the league. We have to hope that, or to win the group, we have to hope that Kanoa don't end up doing anything, worthwhile against April 25th. We'll see what happens. Zhou Hongyi to Bamba over to Feng Xiaoqi, and it's taken right away from him. But that is not going to be enough. Feng Xiaoqi now with the free kick over to Silla, whose header's offline. Here's Nene over to Feng Xiaoqi again. Feng Xiaoqi passes that one forward, just can't quite get it to him. Here's Naziri over to Ndaye. On to Silla, down to Bamba. Pass it, Kader. He passes back to Menegong over to Chen Chengju. And that is deflected and popped up for another corner. So we had the free kick to start this highlight. Now we have a corner about 2 minutes in. And you would expect that we're probably going to score here in a second. Feng Xiaoqi knocks this forward. A bunch of people jump for it. Everybody misses it. I think it actually did hit Cai Yuting's head. I do need to change up these corner routines a little bit because Cai Yuting is definitely not the guy we should be aiming for because we keep doing it and he can never land one. And Ndaye gets it forward on that break, and then his shot is deflected and up and out for a corner again. So what we need is a win. If we win, we're going to be good to go. And it's Huang Chirwei whose header is up and over. I mean, we're only 6 minutes into it, and look, we have another highlight coming up. We are definitely piling on the pressure, and let's see if this ends up being a mistake by them or what exactly happens here. This is lumped up, and yeah, we're going to win this midfield over to Nene, down to Menegong, up to Silla. Good pass, he's onside. Silla crosses, no, he goes back to Menegong, over to Chen Chengju, and he launches another one from range. So one of the problems that we have, and I've said this before, is that Chen Chengju is really not a good shooter. Feng Xiaoqi is going to take this free kick and launches it forward, and that was really destined for goal. It's Yong Ka-ho who is able to grab that one, Cantonese name, and Chen Chengju ends up intercepting this pass and shoots again from range, and again, he is up and over everybody's head. So Chen Chengju doing a good job getting the ball, but unfortunately is a little bit too selfish for a guy who can't hit a shot. And this is lumped forward, and that's really dangerous for us. And Lai Bolun was a little bit late at jumping after that one. Fortunately, that header was up and over everything. We cannot afford now to draw here, because assuming that April 25th is going to win its match, a draw would mean that we don't move forward. We need a win. No matter what, we need a win. We look like we're feeling okay. We're feeling positive and confident and all this other stuff, but we don't have goals scored, and that's the problem. This is knocked forward. Now Chen Chengju with it again. He just sort of walks up to it over to Menegong. And boy, Huang, he almost got his head on top of that one. That was sort of yanked out of the air by their keeper, almost like he's picking an apple off the tree. Nene down back to Cai Yuting. Lumped forward now for Ndaye, and Ndaye gets a pass in, a couple of crosses there. And unfortunately, our shot ended up being deflected in the end. That was the end of that. And Ndaye had this here in a pretty good position. Got a good cross forward to Bamba. And Bamba crossed it again over to Chen Chengju, and that's where that shot was deflected. So still 0-0. We have been knocking on the door for all of the first half. Nobody seems to be particularly nervous, which is good. But like I said, we need the win. Nene with a good tackle over to Menegong now. Silla gets it after Menegong loses possession. Back over to Silla, up to Nene. That was pretty. And Nene takes a shot. Didn't really have much English on it, and he probably should have passed instead. Menegong throws over to Nene. Nene up to Chen Chengju, down to Menegong, back to Huang Chirwei. Huang Chirwei walks with a little bit and then passes back to Lai Bolun. We'll set it up on the other side. Zhou Hongyi knocks this forward, and this is for Nene, who's got it. He passes down to Menegong. Up looking for Silla, can't find him. Chen Chengju with it now, and he sets it up for a cross over to Menegong again. Now to Kader Bamba, who turns around and takes a shot, and that is up and over everybody's head. Kader Bamba is playing in that Segundo Volante role today, and it's a little bit unfamiliar for him. But I mean, we'll see what happens. We may need to move him back. I don't know. We'll see what goes on here. Silla with it over to Bamba. Bamba to Ndaye, and that's over looking for Nene, and it wasn't a particularly good pass from Ndaye. Zhou Hongyi now looking for Nene, can't quite get it to him. Bamba wins this in the air over to Chen Chengju, over to Ndaye, and that is Nene, and he doesn't get much on that header, unfortunately, and then he tries again for another shot that is easily knocked away by the defender. And now it's a little bit of sort of pinball here on their end as we keep knocking it forward time and time and time again. This was a good angle for Nene, and he had a good header on it, and I think that was a good save. I think that's what you say about that one. I can't really complain too much about that. We're just sort of hoping that he can get forward and he can score. April 25th, meanwhile, has gone up 1-0, which means that we go to second in the group as we have not yet scored. Feng Xiaoqi with the throw over to Nene, down to Zhou Hongyi. Zhou Hongyi lumps that forward for Ndaye. Ndaye's got a guide. Does he see him? No, he doesn't. He passes instead back to Kader Bamba and then to Nene, and there is the goal finally. So Nene had a couple of pretty simple, you would think, attempts on goal there in those early stretches. And then the one in which he finally scores is one that looks a lot harder. Right, so Ndaye was here. He missed, I think it was Silla who was darting forward, passes to Bamba, and then Nene gets that one and is able to just get that one into the back corner despite not really having a great angle on it. That makes it 1-0 for Mars FC. We're back up in first position. And let's see what we can do here in the second half. I do think we can take this into another gear. We really ought to. I'm just checking really quick to see. Chen Chengju is getting a 7.8 rating, and Kader Bamba is the other one that I'm kind of wondering about. He is having a good game, 7.40, so we'll leave both of them on. I'm just thinking about Linguanda and whether we want to bring him in or for this match or not. He could use a rest, so I'm not really like opposed to the idea of just resting him and having him sit on the bench. Menegong fouls, unfortunately, get that one from Bouquet. I'm not quite sure how to say that name. And so now we get to defend here close to our own goal. And we do a pretty good job of defending that one out, so there won't be an equalizer at least there. Feng Xiaoqi to Nene, back to Feng Xiaoqi, and he crosses this one over. There's just nobody there. Chen Chengju with it over to Menegong. So we'll go on the other side and try a cross, and there's Ndaye. Boy, that was a goal with a lot on it. I thought that he hit that one too high. He gets that one first time and just knocks it into the top corner. That's like a hockey goal, man. That's what that looked like. That's one of those hockey goals where you one-time it and get it straight into the top corner of the net. Menegong here, and you can see this, it doesn't even touch the ground, and he just uses the big boot, and there was no chance of saving that one. It was just a question of whether he was going to hit the back of the goal or not. 2-0 for Mars FC. We're starting to roll now. Bamba from Feng Xiaoqi, back to Feng Xiaoqi, over to Zhou Hongyi, back to Feng Xiaoqi. And he walks this up a little bit and tries to cross it, and it hits the defender, so he gets it back and passes back to Zhou Hongyi, up to Feng Xiaoqi again to Ndaye, and it's Silla coming from the middle of nowhere. Silla's got that speed, and if he can learn when to turn it on, he's going to start scoring goals like crazy. Zhou Hongyi passes this over to Ndaye, and Ndaye's foul from behind. That's going to be the end of Yao Meng, I think. I think it's Yo. I'm not quite sure exactly how that would be pronounced. I do speak some Cantonese, actually, and I'm not quite sure what romanization that's supposed to be. There's a lot of mistakes in Football Manager when you get to East Asian players, things that most people haven't realized. Silla tries a header, and that one ends up being knocked away. If you play with teams from Korea or from China, you will notice the mistakes, and you'll be like, that can't be right. And yeah, there are issues with naming, anyway, so it is. That was pretty good attack from us, although it didn't really lead to much in the end. Feng Xiaoqi here with it, and he had centered that one over to Silla, and that one sort of accidentally hit off the defender, who I don't think was really intending to do any defending there. Here's Feng Xiaoqi again with a corner, and he's looking for Kader Bamba, and he gets it to Bamba, and unfortunately that is saved. And you thought for sure that Bamba was going to score. He deserves a goal in this match considering how he's played. And see, this I don't understand. Their keeper is lumping it forward. There's absolutely nobody there, nobody even close to the ball. I mean, they're not actually attacking from what I can tell. Feng Xiaoqi lumps this over for Silla, and we're kind of goldfishing this game. That's what they'll tell you in Magic the Gathering. There's Ndaye with his second goal, and he gets that one into that same corner, but he's going to be called for offside. Yeah, he was offside on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one, actually. He may have been onside for that goal. I don't know. That's another one of those tricky football manager calls where you're like, yeah, maybe he was off for that. I don't know. I think that the jury's still out on that one. Here again, Feng Xiaoqi with yet another corner, and we've just had the ball all day long, and that's Cai Yuting Huang Chewei gets the goal. Cai Yuting had his name up first, but no, it was Huang Chewei who got it. I think it was number 6 for him, our penalty taker. And was that really Huang Chewei or was that Cai Yuting? It looked like it was both. So we may need to actually change the corner tactic. That was a pretty interesting one. Leibolund, is able to get to that ball, and that is the end of the Casa de Portugal attempt. Ao Im Hong knocks this one forward, and it's Huang Li for them who takes it down over to Long Wai Man and over to Hoel. And let's see if we can get this ball back. We need to get this ball and send it going the other way because this is not helpful for us. And there's Menegong, of course, to go back and get it over to Lai Bolun. And now we are able to set up again and die with it in the middle of the pitch. A whole bunch of defenders around him. He's going to try to run through all of them. Then he sends over to Chen Chengju, finally scores a goal. Finally a goal from him that we've seen. Hits that one from 20 yards out. He knows that he can hit long shots. He just needs a little bit more practice at them. 4-0 from Mars FC. Chen Chengju, unfortunately, I think he's like 29 years old. I'm not certain that he's going to be on this team for much longer. It depends on whether we can get any good-looking youngsters up to potentially take his place. But that's definitely a moment of glory for him. And I mean, as long as we're in this AFC Cup run, we might as well play him, might as well have him. He seems to enjoy his football, and so we'll give it to him as long as he likes it. 4-0 from Mars FC so far. We're only a few minutes away from the end of this one. It's been kind of a long video, hasn't it? Menegong with it. It's been long because we've been so dominant. Every time we turn around, we're attacking again. And there's Silla who just misses it. Man, I mean, that was the easiest shot in the world. And he, unfortunately, doesn't quite angle it right. Ends up hitting straight off of the post. We've seen a lot of those off the post. As you know, Football Manager has a problem in that too many shots hit off the post. This one right here, though, is just... frustration is probably bad finishing. That I say would be bad finishing, and you kind of wish that we were there to try to get that rebound. But on the counter, there's not too many chances for that. Ndiaye with the 9.0 rating, he's going to end up being the man of the match. This is not going to be won in midfield as I thought it would, and Huang Li takes a shot, but that's over everybody's head. We're going to pitch another shutout here, and we are going on with an incredible goal differential to the East Asia final against another North Korean side. And it's going to be a 2-legged final. I think that will be the first of that one will be the next match that you see. And this is going to be a lot of fun to see if we can overcome yet another North Korean team. I think it's fitting for this channel. If you've been around for the Yenbian save, you know that I love a good North Korean player here or there. I think it's fitting for us to have to play North Korean teams and have to go out there once again and probably play in front of a much larger audience and see what we can do. Menegong over to Silla, passes over to Nene, and there's Nene's second. Is he onside? The flag stays down. Flag stays down, and so it's 5-0 now. And that was definitely deserved. You would think that we would take the foot off the gas, but we won't. I mean, we had a 5-goal differential advantage coming into this one. It's going to be 10 goals now, probably 9 because I think April 25th scored once. But we have to prevent against the eventuality that maybe they end up scoring 13 or 14 goals against Kanoa. So we have to just make sure that we are completely dominant and that everybody knows it. And that we increase our reputation as much as we can against a pretty pathetic team from Macau. Lai Bolun grabs the ball, comes out of his goal like a good sweeper-keeper over to Zhou Hongyi. And hey, there's time. Maybe we can score another one. Ndiaye over to Feng Xiaoqi. Ndiaye, unfortunately, can't get to that pass. Goes back, and Cai Yuting goes back and grabs that one over to Feng Xiaoqi again. And he plays with it over to Zhou Hongyi, and that's over for Nene, but time runs out. And so we've won this one. Man, we had 29 shots, 11 on target, 3.43 XG. They didn't have a single shot on target. You imagine that. They had a key player injured, another man sent off. They actually dominated possession. They had over 50%. So we'll have to talk about that. We'll have a talking to with these boys about how bad we were in our 5-0 win. We'll talk with you again tomorrow, and we'll see who we're playing with that next match. Talk to you then. Bye.